episode of Trap Chaser. It's August, time to start thinking about the upcoming traps season. Um, I wanted to buy a few more traps, so I went down to Shields the other day and I bought a number 3 Dogless Bridger. I want to go with Dogless. I just haven't had a lot of troubles with the dogs on other traps, but it certainly is more convenient getting out to the field and not having to worry about messing with that dog. So I bought this number 3 Bridger, and I've used them before, and I had good intentions on modifying them, laminating them, changing the chain out, but after looking at them some more, they're just too big. That's a big trap. Bulkier, more expensive, harder to bet. Or we deal with a lot of frozen ground up here in Dakota, and it's just harder to dig out a trap bed in the frozen ground. I really like the MB550s. No complaints. I do wish they were a little bit bigger. I can handle it the size though. I'm okay with it. But if I could change one little thing about them, I would make them a little bit bigger. And the MB650s, I don't have one, but they look like a real nice trap. But they are expensive. I really like on the 650s. I really like the wire levers. I feel that would be better for the frozen ground to kick them up out of the frozen ground. I have had Bridger number 2 Dogless before, and I do like those. And Duke, within the last year or year and a half, came out with their version of the number 2 Dogless. So I thought I would buy one and try it out. Shields actually had one in stock in the store. It wasn't listed on their webpage, but I checked the other day and it is listed on their webpage now, and they actually have more in stock at Shields. But I got these off the internet, Trap Shed. They were good. I had them in about a week, but it's got to come across the whole United States. They come out of Georgia, and I wasn't in any hurry for them. They're 4-coiled. The price was right, $10.99, and the shipping wasn't unreal. It was very reasonable. They come 4-coiled. I don't know if I had the chance to get them 2-coiled. I'm not a big fan of the 4-coil, just because if you get an incidental in there, somebody's cat or something, that's a lot of power. So I'll probably take the 4-coils out, the 4-coils off. Other initial reactions to it is the jaws are a little bit different than the Bridger number 2s. They're a little bit heavier. I don't know that they're any stronger. I don't think that's much different, but it is a little bit different. The chain is the biggest part that kind of bothers me. It's got a big chain on there. I don't know what size you call that, but it reminds me of the swing set chains on a swing. So, and the swivels are different too. So and when you consider change those, this costing about $7 to $8 more. I feel like you can't go wrong, I guess, on these. Now I've heard the MB Alpha is MB's first dogless trap, and that looks like a real nice trap. I've just seen videos and pictures on the internet. I'm curious. They're not available. They're saying September they'll be available. I'm curious what the price point will be on those. So I'm not gonna say that this is the best trap ever. I'm just saying for $10.99 you get a lot of trap. And the chain is kind of a pain, but I usually modify the chains anyways on any trap I get, and I'll show you why in a minute. So I don't feel like I am getting screwed over on the chain. started. I do plan on laminating these two at some point. I assume the lamination kits you can get for the Bridger #2 will also fit for this Duke #2. And if they don't, I will just use a 3/16 stock rod and weld it on there. So let's take the chain off. I think we're going to take the chain off. Yep, here we go. Come on. Well, for Pete's sake. Come on. Come on. Here we go now. One more time. Easy. Bigger chisel. Getting closer. There we go. Beautiful. Let me find here's a standard multi-purpose swivel from F&T. They're just a little bit different. The ones that come with the Dukes are strong. So I think we might reuse the swivels off the trap and just change the chain. And the biggest thing I don't like about this chain is just the size. And when you have to dig in a trap bit in the wintertime, the smaller the chain, the better. I feel #2 chain is more than enough. So I'll take the other end of the J-hook, the other J-hook off the swivel. No problem. Goes real easy. Just like that. That's all let's do it. Not a problem. Yep, not a problem. Oh, goodness. That was easy. One more to go. Beautiful. So, my personal preference, instead of putting this J-hook on this D-ring right away, and having that swivel always in the way underneath here, and again, we're dealing with frozen ground, it just drives me nuts. So what I do is I add a few links, 2 or 3 links of chain to get this swivel away from that base plate. And I don't feel like that's going to affect the effectiveness of the swivel. I've never had a problem doing that. And I use number 2 chain for the most part, but for those couple links there, I will use number 3 chain because I need to weld the link together, and I feel more confident with welding a number 3 chain than a number 2 chain to make it hold. So let's do that first. This actually I bought from a local hardware store, and they called it wasn't labeled, but the sales associate said it was number 3, and I think it might be a little bit bigger than number 3. But this is galvanized, and that is not ideal. Mostly because it will not accept the die, and it's harder to weld. But it's what I have. I have lots of it. So we'll add those 3 links to it. The other thing with these Duke traps, or the Bridger number 2 as well, the pan tension is adjustable. This bolt right here adjusts the tension of the pan. And I got a feeling it's pretty floppy, so it's probably pretty light. They are night latched. Still hot. Still night latched. Let's try that again. There. Now, this is the second one I looked at. I don't know if you can see that, but this loose jaw sits up higher than I'd like, and I think I can adjust that by twisting these levers. Let's give it a try. Bend that one down. Let's try that again. Bend this one down. Night latch, and that is substantially better. Maybe not perfect, but that's better. This loose jaw is still just up a hair. but I'm okay with that. Let's see, back to the pan tension. I was going to take those 4 coils off too, wasn't I? Let's do that. Come on now. These traps, when they're new, especially the MB550s, they have a lot of power. And the springs get weaker as they age, get rusted, so on and so forth. But the older I get, the less 4-coil traps I have. I will keep the springs, and I will add them on later if I feel the need to. But way easier to set. And I feel if a coyote gets in there, you know, these are offset, so the levers set fairly high. I just don't think a coyote's going to get out of there. I don't feel the 4-coil is required. So let's set the pan tension. Let's see what it is out of the box. I don't have a tester, but I bet it's not very much. This is maybe probably a 2 pound. So let's tighten that up. Pliers. And another pliers. It's probably a 6mm, or maybe a 1/4 inch, or maybe a 7mm. This works. I always keep a pliers and a couple different size wrenches with me in my tool bag to make adjustments if necessary. The other thing too is by the time this gets waxed and dyed, the pan tension is going to be different. But we'll get it close. I don't care for a lot of pan tension. I don't mind getting skunks. Just use this for a guide. Probably at a pound or pound and a half. Yeah, that's close. It could be a little bit tighter. There you have it. I may modify, if I get bored, I may modify the jaws to laminate them. That would be good. But otherwise, not too bad of a trap, I don't think, for $10.99 plus maybe 89 cents for chain. Alright, thanks for watching. See you later. Update on the Duke No. 2 Dogless. The J hooks are not as good as I thought they were. I noticed a few of them were weak when I pinched them back, and this one just broke off. Appears to be like a cast. So go ahead and redo them all.